A very good morning to you. How are you doing? Karibuni sana. Very excited, very happy to be here, and it's now the last day of this beautiful month of July. We're very happy to be here. It's been a good journey right from January, and now tunaenda kumalizia July, and it's been a good journey, I would say so. But this is also a call, as I said yesterday, to anyone ambaye ana feel ni kama kidogo there was something alitakana ku accomplish, but by now na bado. This is just to tell you that we still have time. We're getting to the 8th month of the year, so that means bado tuko na time. All right, do not give up. We still have good time to make sure that all our zile tulikuwa tumeandika ziitaje resolutions, yes, all our resolutions tumezimaliza. All right, this karibuni sana. We're going to be having an amazing time right here ndani ya Raushwa on MBCI TV, ambapo tunabadilisha maisha by the grace of God. And today we'll be here with yours truly,
Silas Cheminingwa. Indeed, a very good morning. It's a privilege to have you, wherever you're watching us from. Welcome to MBCI television, where we transform people's life by the grace of God. Rachel, it is such a good morning here from the city of Nakuru. It was a bit chilly as I was coming here, and I think by now the sun is shining. And as Isaiah 61 says, arise and shine, for your light has come, and the glory of the Lord is lighting upon your life. Where are you watching us from? It's a very beautiful Wednesday, a very wonderful, charming Wednesday. My name is Silas Cheminingwa. Beautiful to see you, looking sharp. Praise the Lord.
Amen.
Welcome to. Let me welcome you, because it is courtesy. It is gentleman to welcome a lady. So welcome. Though I am a guest here, I am new.
Thank you. How is it so far on Raushwa?
It's such an intriguing, it is an experience I can describe as one of the most excellent experience to have, and it is really an attractive one. It gives an experience of, basically here you have to be ethical to be spiritual, and as well you have to know what to say and how to encourage. And it is very important as well, whenever you are in such a position, you become what many people see you, and you have to meet the expectations and as well do the work of God at the same time. So I tell you, working alongside you people who have been in this field for quite some time, it's really a challenging as well as it is a privilege and an honor, because I am under your cover, I know, for the time being, but it is a good experience. I cannot say much. Asante
sana. Now, this is just to walk you through what we'll be having today. Hapa ndani ya Raushwa, we're going to be having an amazing time, but of course, tutakuwa tukianza na the daily updates, because you're a Kenyan, and because of that, you deserve to know what's happening in your country. And leo, ndani ya the daily updates, for the very first time, we'll be having our daily updates in English. All right? As we continue, we'll tell you how things roll out. And of course, after that, we'll be getting today's inspiration, so that you can also get inspired. After that, tutakuwa tunaingia ndani ya Tega Sikio, which will be really amazing. This one you don't want to miss, okay? After that, sasa tutakuwa tunaingia ndani ya the topic of discussion. And today we're talking about something that is very unique na ina touch kila mtu. Today we're talking about savings. I know we've had these conversations mara mingi sana. We've been talking about savings, how to save, how does the budget help you in saving, and sometimes tunajuanga ya kwamba ukianza kusave kuna kwanga na kakitu inakwambia now you've saved enough, let us now enjoy and use the money, and then we'll start saving again. All right, now we'll be talking about savings. So what is the importance of saving?
It's very exciting.
Exactly, and what is the goal of saving as well? After that, tutakuwa tunapata ile segment ya kilimo, and today we'll be talking about seeds. Tutakuwa tunaletwa na the one and only Peter High Five, ama Peter Wamugi. Tumezoea kumwita Peter High Five hapa ndani, but I'm sure that you've had the series ya kilimo. So far so good. We've talked about soil, and now we are talking about seeds. But in the meantime, you're a Kenyan, and because of that you deserve to know what's happening in your country. Kwa hivyo tunaingia ndani ya the daily update, so that we'll be able to see what's happening in Kenya and outside Kenya. And today, in the daily updates, we'll be getting to go through some of the topics that are sparking conversations in Kenya and, of course, outside Kenya. But for the very first bulletin, we'll start by the fact that President William Ruto has nominated Dorcas Oduor for the position of the Attorney General. This following the dismissal of the Attorney General alongside the whole cabinet on the 11th of July in a press briefing, leaving out Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua and the Prime Cabinet Secretary Musalia Mudavadi. President William Ruto, in the briefing when he dissolved the cabinet secretary, said, quote unquote, upon reflection, listening keenly to what the people of Kenya have said, and after a holistic appraisal of the performance of my cabinet and its achievements and challenges, I have, in line with the powers given to me, decided to dismiss with immediate effect the cabinet secretaries and the AG from the cabinet, except the PCS and the CS Foreign and Diaspora Affairs. Oduor will become the first lady or the first female Attorney General in Kenya if approved by the National Assembly. She has vast legal experience spanning over 30 years of practice within the public sector. Oduor was admitted to the bar as an advocate of the High Court of Kenya in 1992 after attaining her Bachelor's of Law degrees in 1990 and postgraduate diploma from Kenya School of Law in 1991. Oduor is currently serving as the Secretary of Public Prosecution within the Office of the Director of Public Prosecutions. And on the second bulletin is that the national rollout of programs to reunite children in care homes with families begins. It's now ready for national rollout following successful initial trials in 13 of the 47 counties. The chair of the National Council of Children's Service, NCCS, Sophia Abdi Noor, inaugurated the national rollout during a function in Embu and emphasized that the program's success will depend on the cooperation of all the stakeholders. She noted that the initiative to reintegrate children into society stemmed from many years of research showing that children thrive better in a family setup, highlighting the importance of families finding all children to grow up in families. While in the Embu High Court, a resident judge, Lucy Njuguna, Samahani hapo. While in the High Court of Embu, the resident judge Lucy Njuguna stated that the judiciary, in support of the program, has simplified the procedures for the adoption of children. She mentioned that parents who wish to adopt children no longer need lawyers to file adoption papers, as the adoption process is guided by the best interest of the child. Justice Njuguna called for greater public sensitization to demystify the adoption process. She added that due to adequate sensitization, all 17 children's care that are in Embu has agreed to participate in the reintegration of children into communities. And on to our international news is that 39 police officers have been injured in the Southport unrest. This is after the unrest broke out in Southport hours after a vigil took place to remember the victims of a knife attack, which 3 children were killed. Earlier in Merseyside, police said that 8 officers sustained injuries after the fight, including fractures and suspected broken nose and concussions. The disorder, which police said was believed to involve English Defence League supporters, began only a few streets away from the Wednesday's vigil location. The police officers said that those involved threw bricks at the mosque, set fire on cars, and caused damages on all the local convenient stores. In total, 27 officers were taken to hospital and 12 were treated and discharged at the scene. As the results of the disorder, a 24-hour Section 60 order has been introduced in the area, giving officers enhanced stop to search powers to stop individuals. In addition, a small number of ambulance resources will remain at the scene on St. Luke's Road, which will continue to support the police officers. That is what you have today on the Daily Update. But of course, for more, you'll be getting the news on MBCI Radio, where Vin Kim and the amazing team will be preparing that for you. For now, let's get to see the today's inspiration. Tuone mambo yako namna gani. Of course, we said you need to be inspired as we start the day. So today's inspiration. All right. As you can see on your screens, there's the today's inspiration hapo inasema.
Today's inspiration is, there is no wine if grapes are not pressed, no perfume if flowers are not crushed. So don't be afraid if there are pressures in your life. It will bring the best out of you. There is no wine if grapes are not pressed, no perfume if flowers are not crushed. So don't be afraid if there are any pressures in your life. It will bring the best out of you.
Amazing.
Wonderful, wonderful. That one has spoken to me directly this morning. How beautiful to start a day with such a motivational, inspirational word.
Yeah, it reminds me of this verse. Ndio nimekuwa nikijaribu kuitafuta hapa. 2 Corinthians 4:8 that says that we are hard pressed on every side but not crushed, perplexed but not in despair, persecuted but not abandoned, struck down but not destroyed. Therefore we do not lose heart, though outwardly we are wasting away, inwardly we are renewed every day.
Oh, yes.
That means sometimes, kinezomana, you might feel like life is really not giving you what it's supposed to be giving.
It is not on your side.
It's not on your sides. Unapata saa zingine in life umefika rock bottom and things are not happening.
And then you're like, is it that I was born in this world to suffer? You know, you reach a point and then you feel like, have you ever felt like that? By the way,
it gets to that point in life sometimes.
So many times.
Saa zingine nafikanga mahali unajiambia, at this point, the easiest way out is giving up.
And there was a time I told myself, the easiest way, man, let me pack and go back home. And I packed from town and left and went back home and just told my mom, you see what, let me just relax first.
I'm still your child, I'm back home, don't worry. I'll find my kids again.
Oh yes.
But sometimes it's also good to say that inafikanga hapo and it's okay to just take a step backwards.
Step back, indeed.
Alafu unaangalia how the situation is so that you're able to analyze and know what is the next step you're going to take.
Yes.
Because most of the time the problem is tunatakanga tunafight tu tunaenda.
Yes.
And sometimes you're trying to walk and you can't see where you're taking the next step.
Exactly.
Right? So sometimes when things are not okay, it's still fine to hold on, step back, analyze the situation. Alafu ujue what is the next step you're taking. Where do you want to go next?
Most of the time they say you start to see or analyze where the rain started beating you, because you see and you know, every time that thing happened, for the lifetime experience I've had, Kahugo, I think whenever you are taking a wrong course in life, sometimes, and you are a child of God, there is a possibility that God has decided to stagnate the process because He knows where you're headed.
Right.
So sometimes it is important, even sometimes you take your step back and then have some time to pray, then have some time with your God. Yesterday when I was doing a program on radio, there's someone who texted in and said, I took my phone, I went through all the contacts, and the only thing I could see are the people that depend on me all the time, borrow me all the time. And the best thing I could do is delete all my contacts, block everybody as necessary as possible, and remain with the family members that are very crucial. And then I decided to give my life to Jesus and focus on spiritual matters. And I tell you, he was telling us yesterday that I tell you, it is a testimony. I am a different person. I've generated a lot of growth, a lot of muscle to fight this kind of situationship.
Yeah. You know, that reminds me of a discussion nilikuwa naisikia mahali by two ladies. I think it was Janet Mbogwa and someone else. Now walikuwa nasema that sometimes you get to a place in life where you now don't want to talk to people. Unataka tuka place yako, you talk to God, you analyze your life, ujue ni nini unataka kufanya next. I know the problem usually is after umefika hiyo place and umeingia kwa kale kakakun, when you come out again, you still have people asking you, why did you go? It's so unfair.
Yes.
You were supposed to be there for me when I needed you. You're like, I am the one who needed you guys. It was not you who needed me. Right? Yes. But this brings us to a place where it is fine sometimes to go into that cocoon, think about your life, think about what step you want to take next.
Exactly.
Alafu sasa toka ukiwa re-energized. All right?
So and whenever you come out of that place, it's normally a different energy.
Yep.
It's normally a different focus. Yeah.
All right. Acha sasa tuingie ndani ya tega sikio tuone mambo yako namna gani. Hope that you've been inspired, okay?
Very
and you've
well.
gotten something from that. Please text us. Our numbers are still very open. Ni zile zile.
Yes.
0721105105 on WhatsApp, 23814. Our SMS code, which is absolutely free. Of course, you're live on Facebook and we are live on YouTube. Acha tuingie ndani ya tega sikio tuone mambo yako namna gani. As I've said, tega sikio. You don't want to miss it. All right? Tuingie ndani ya tega sikio.
Inspire someone, but it's more of a story. It's more of a story. And there was a time, you know, I come from a village whereby there's this culture of being mentored by young people, mentored by old men before you leave home. There are quite a number of guidance and counseling they give you whenever you have maybe graduated, maybe, or sometimes having been circumcised, and then after getting out of that situation, or after you're from church and whatever, or after church service, there's that general counsel that you are given. So there's this old man. He loves me so much, and currently he is in a place called Transoya.
Okay.
But he's about 70 years old. And it's more of a, he told me, and this Tegasikio basically is just to make sure you understand how Jesus can get someone out of a mess, out of a stalemate, and how he gets things out into control whenever they're out of control. And he told me, here the story comes. First he called me and told me, Silas, come and sit here. I want, you are a growing man, you are a gentleman, and you are growing. And because you are growing, you're going to deal with very funny creatures called your fellow human beings. But I don't want you to suffer, or any other man that will be around you to suffer, unless you have this kind of an advice, this kind of a story. And it would help you for the entire of your life to make decisions. So first he started by a story, a fable. He told me there was a gentleman that sometimes back used to misbehave a lot, and the parents could not correct him at all times. But basically,
Kijana mdogo.
Yeah, no, it's a youth.
Okay.
Kijana tu mwenye umri wa ujana kidogo. Okay. So walikuwa kila wakati anafanya makosa, na kwa sababu wazazi walikuwa tajiri, walikuwa wanamtoa, akienda wanamtoa jela, akiingia wanamtoa jela. One day, na wakimtoa akona room yake, anaenda analala mpaka they pamper that young man again, and then the young man is out again and is messing up. One day akapata mwanadada. Alipopata mwanadada, ni mwanadada kwa mara ya kwanza. Unajua, for the first time when you are having a relationship, it's time to talk and chat. But because of some tamaa mingi, let me say, he at least misbehaved and pushed the lady to the wall, given the lady had visited him in his own house. And because the lady didn't want to be pushed, because it is the first time meeting and you are wanting almost everything at the same time, and the gentleman then forced issues, the lady screamed. And when the lady screamed, the parents wakakuja na wakamfungulia, but the lady went to the police station. And when he went to the police station, ikakuwa ni kesi tofauti, na kijana akawekwa ndani. Alipokuwa ndani anafungwa, kesi inatolewa, akaita mama yake baada ya kuambiwa umehukumiwa 13 years for attempting rape issues. Akaita mama yake akamwambia, kama mami, kuja tu karibu, nataka nikuulize tu kitu moja ya mwisho. So the mother came out, because ni mama alikuwa anamtetea sana. When the mom came close, alisema, nataka nikwambie kwa masikio, sitaki kila mtu asikie. Wakati mama alikaribia, alishika mama meno na masikio, na akauma nusu almanusura kukata. Na wakati alipomaliza hivyo, mama akipiga nduru akisema, wewe unataka kuniua mtoto, damu inatoka. Akaambia mama, mami, unajua ni kwa nini ulinibembeleza huku niambia ukweli? Sasa nimeenda jela. And then the gentleman told me, now I don't want you to say sikukuambia. Kaniambia, when I grew up, we were 15 young men in our home. And because we were 15 young men in our home, my father had 3 wives. And our mother was his favorite. given our mother was his favorite, our father used to spend most of the time at our place. But given the traditional life that we used to live, most of my brothers believed, because my father had a lot of cows, herds of cows, and he told me, you know, Silas, when it is not like right now, resources are so constrained. Then you could see cows, you could see goats, you could see sheep, and there's a vast land, and you know you have your portion as a man to the father. So these other brothers of mine ventured into marrying and doing after initiations and having all those kind of things. They initiated themselves into marriage. But for me, there was one day I saw a missionary coming around our village to do aid programs, and it inspired me. And that person told me, she told me she was the lady was working with the USAID, and she was called Rebina. And the white lady told my father, if you work hard one day, you will fly. So when that lady came and told, so it is the man telling me, so when that lady told me, one day if you work hard and you are able to do things very well, you will be able to go and come where I come from. It was an inspiration. So the gentleman told his father, I want to marry. So it is like, now the mzee is telling me, I told my father, nataka sasa kuoa. Na kwa sababu nataka kuoa, nisaidie ng'ombe zangu na mbuzi. But wakati alipewa, he turned things around. Akachukua, akauza, na akasema mimi nimetoka. Wakati alisema nimetoka, akawa ameenda kwenda kutafuta masomo. Because he was inspired to do education. So akasoma, akamaliza. Because of time, I'll press the story. So akamaliza, akasoma mpaka class 7. Alipomaliza, the man told me, nikatoka nyumbani na nikaenda Nairobi. Nilipofika Nairobi, nikahangaika sana. But nikapata kazi kidogo. Then things went a bit not in the right way. But whenever everything went, when things didn't go the right way, I could be able to go back home. Na wakati nilienda nyumbani, my father could blame me all the time. But basically, but basically, when things happened, are we on air? Are we okay?
Yeah, we're good.
Okay. So whenever things went hard, I used to go back home and talk to my father and tell my father, please, I didn't do this because I wanted, but I'm inspired to be educated. So the old man was every time corrected by his father and told him, you know, you took your portion, I cannot help you. It is upon you, it is your decision. So the gentleman decided to go back to Nairobi. And when he went back to Nairobi, he walked, he tarmacked, and then he met one gentleman in the streets. And then that gentleman was working in the parliament as a cleaner then. So the gentleman went with the man after he had explained, ni mtu wa nyumbani. Ni ile unazunguka town hivi unakutana na mtu wa nyumbani. Kuuliza, na unafanya nini huko? Sema nimekuja kutafuta pahali pa kuketi. Nimekuja kutafuta kitu fulani na kazi, nimesoma mpaka class 7 lakini sijafaulu. So akamwambia ni sawa, nitakutafutia pahali. Akaenda naye kwa gallery hiyo siku. Akafanya cleaning, na after cleaning huyo mzee akakaa kwa gallery na akaangalia chini. Alipoangalia chini akaona vile parliament wanafanya. By then after kufinish, the parliament came into session. He told and then the gentleman told me, Mimi, that was the first time I saw how parliament session were carried out. It was another inspiration. So I worked hard. And then by then, the gentleman was working there, alikuwa rafiki ya one of the MPs. So one of akaenda approach one of the MPs, akasema kuna kijana amesoma mpaka 7 na anatoka uko nyumbani kwetu. But I think hii makaratasi yako nayo ni mtu vile anakaa ni mwerevu, anaweza kufanya nini? Tunaweza msaidia zidi kusoma. So they approached the MP, and then after approach the MP akatake initiative na akampatia scholarship. So the old man told me, nikasoma nikamaliza mpaka form 4. Hatukuwa na uwezo ya kwenda mpaka form 6 Uganda, because by then ulikuwa ukimaliza Kenya unaanza kwenda Uganda, then you go to Makerere and so forth and so on. So akamaliza form 4. Alafu alipomaliza tu form 4 akarudi mpaka kwa ule mtu alimsaidia na akamwambia mimi nimemaliza kusoma.
What next?
Nisaidie. Akamwambia sit at my place mimi nitakuwa naenda kazi na kuachia chakula, everything in the house. You know that life in town where someone is accommodating you. So the old man told me, nikasaidiwa na nikarelax. Lakini siku relax kabisa. Nikamwambia, my father has blamed me a lot for this action that I took. If it is possible, mnisaidie vile nisaidie tu nipate riziki. So the old man tried his best, and then the gentleman mwenye alikuwa na yeye, wakati anatoka anafunga mlango anatoka, but anarudi mapema kwa sababu anaenda kutafuta. But aliporudi ndani, wakati mmoja akirudi, akamwambia ule mbunge nimemweleza na amesema turudi, tuende na makaratasi yako. And then after that, wakati mbunge aliona hizo makaratasi, akamwambia it is wonderful, na akaweka nyuma ya gari lake. By then hizo gari za zamani, Volkswagen, na hizo akaweka nyuma, akasema nimeona na nitakuongelesha. 3 days later wakapigia huyu cleaner, the MP, akasema by then the popular work nilikuwa inapatianwa ni ya posta. Akaambiwa umepata kazi, huyo kijana areport kazi Mombasa in the next 2 or 3 days. So afanye kila juhudi. The gentleman akakimbia nyumbani kupitia gari la moshi. By then natoka asubuhi unafika jioni, akasafiri mpaka nyumbani. Alipofika nyumbani akaambia baba nibariki tu, because that was the main reason alienda nyumbani. Mzee akamwambia nakubariki na mimi nilikubariki. Wewe mimi hata kwa sababu nilidhani utanipea wajukuu, unipe mke, unipatie kila kitu. Hina akasema sikufanya kwa ubaya. And then the gentleman akatoka, akaongea na mama akauza tukuku kidogo akampatia, and he reported to Mombasa. Now the real story came here. Akaniambia wakati nilianza kufanya kazi, my 14 brothers walikuwa wameoa.
They were 15.
Yes, sasa ni yeye anafanya the 15th.
Okay.
So my 14 brothers wameoa, wengine ni kazi yao sasa by then ni kukunywa ile pombe ya nyumbani na starehe na kufanya nini, wako na ng'ombe zingine wameuza, wako na shamba. So he decided kusaidia his brothers. But before awasaidie, the first salary alipokuja nyumbani na akatoa the first 1,000 note na akapatia baba yake, that was when his father now became his favorite. Na the second visit akakuja na suti akampatia. By then Kaunda, he was very popular. Akampatia. The old man told me that is when my father started seeing the light. Because wakati alikuwa anavaa hiyo suti alafu na bakora yake akitembea kwa kijiji, everybody anamuuliza hii imetoka wapi? Anawaambia imetoka Mombasa. Niko na kijana wapi? Mombasa. Ananifanyia kazi. So akaanza kukuwa favorite ya baba yake. But by then unaona ile mimi na wewe tunaweza kuwa ndugu na dada na tunapendana na hatuna mambo mengi, and we don't have a lot of issues. We don't have, like, you know, if you are my sister, I cannot write with you, I cannot do an agreement with you. Ati tuandikishane chini kitu fulani. Nini kusaidia unisaidie. Kama nikukupeleka shule na kupeleka bila kuandikishana, ati ukifaulu utanisaidia. So the gentleman decided to start helping. Akawaita the 14 brothers. Akawaambia, this land of our grandfather itabaki yangu. Lakini nyinyi kila mmoja wenu nitawanunulia shamba sehemu mbalimbali ya taifa hili. And it is a very live story. Akawasaidia, akasema wa kwanza akampeleka sijui Trans Nzoia, wa pili akampeleka sijui wapi Bomet, akapeleka wengine Kisii, akapeleka wengine Kapenguri, akapeleka wengine, akawanunulia. By then shamba ilikuwa ukikuwa na 8,000 you get close to 5 acres. So alikuwa anawasaidia, akawasaidia wote. Na akasema Silas, mimi nikapata a wrong company. Nakwambia ile nilikuwa nafanya ni sherehe na kukunywa pombe na kufanya kila kitu. Because I have money, I have sorted my brother's problems, na sina shida ingine. Na shamba nye ninaona 10 acres of land or 20 or 30 ni yangu. You understand? Na si kuandikishana na ndugu zangu. Niliwafanyia kwa upendo. nikawaandikia, nikawapatia everything as much as, huyu nikampatia 3 acres, huyu nikampatia 4 acres, huyu nikamsomeshea watoto, huyu nikamtafutia kazi, huyu nikamjengea pahali pengine, nikafanya hivyo. But then Moi akakuja and he brought the golden handshake. And then after the golden handshake, I decided to take early retirement. And then after taking early retirement, nikakuja nyumbani. Nilipokuja nyumbani, nikawa sasa mimi ni starehe tu, naangalia vitu vyangu na watoto wangu wanasoma vizuri, niko na wawili university, nini, sina mambo mingi. But then one of the brothers akaamuka na akaanza kufanya incitement from another mother, not sasa our mother. Akaanza kufanya incitement, akasema, unajua shamba ya babu ni kama birthright. Sisi hatutakaa hivi na ndugu zetu wamenyang'anywa shamba. That is the oration. Ilianza story, ilianzia hapo. Kufuatilia wale ndugu wengine wenye walinunuliwa mashamba kule kwingine, wengine waliuza, walibaki tu na quarter acre na kaplot. Wengine hata they are just in desperate because walipelekwa sehemu ambazo walikuwa free to the world na hawakuweza kufanya more investment. I tell you, the gentleman started telling me, I am at home, I have retired. I am settling and I'm winding up my issues. And my brothers decided, because hakuna agreement, wakakaa chini wakasema hakuna agreement, hakuna. Hata tupeleka kotini, hawezi tupeleka kotini. Sawa. And this is a situation that happens to everybody around these days. Sawa. Sasa kitu tutafanya, tuende tudai shamba zetu. It has been close to 24 years. Sasa wamefanya, wameuza, wamefanya ni pressure, watoto imejaa. And because there was no agreement, wakarudi. Wakasema, nataka shamba yetu. From 10 acres of land, each akaitisha his 1 acre or quarter acre, depending with the division. My father akasema, kama ni hivyo mngeniambia mapema, now that is, the gentleman akasema, nikaambia my father, kama ni hivi nimefanyia hawa, na wananifanya hivi, ungeniambia mapema. Then the father intervened. Wakati anawaeleza, pressure ikatokea. The father died mysteriously. Kabla hajagawanisha mali. And I tell you, the old man said one thing. The only thing I could do, because there was no agreement, I decided to give away my land that I had helped others. Nilikuwa nimesema hii nitabaki yangu. But there is one thing. They had even decided kusema ya kwamba hata mimi nisipate portion ya kutosha. Because they even turned against me because they were so incited. Wakaambiwa na other brothers. The gentleman was saying, other brothers were saying, anajifanya alisoma, anajifanya alipata kazi, anajifanya alishakuwa mtu mdosi, anaongea Kiingereza. And then from that point, that is when Mzee turned and said, that is when I turned everything and I decided kwenda kanisani. And then sasa ndio akamchekelea kabisa. Kasema sasa huyo, ukiona anashika direction ya kanisa, then just know, he is on his way to the grave. But then one day, one time, there is a county commissioner. Kitu ikamwambia, go to one of the county commissioners, ongea naye. And when the gentleman went to that county commissioner, because ilikuwa na issues, akamwambia, mimi nimefinywa sana. Na sasa hata wanataka ile kidogo niko nayo. Na my father died before aandike will na nini, you know, the old men of all this could just go. And I tell you one thing, county commissioner akaweka a very strict measure. Because the old man said, I saw Christ. I saw that man and I saw Christ. Because it was so evident that my land had, the land that I had believed it was mine had gone. But because of the county commissioner, akaweka stop and question to the land. And then he ruled out. Na akasema, until otherwise. Mseme, how many years have you been out? Ndio mkuje kudai shamba mpaka saa hizi.
Okay.
Na akaandika ruling akasema, until you prove and tell us where have you been the 24 years.
That's when you'll be able to continue.
To continue from that point. To date, the land is on question. The mzee analima vizuri, the 10 acres of land, and he is a believer, he is in Christ.
Oh, wow.
Na akasema, from today henceforth, Cheminingwa, please, if you want to be safe, na usiende, because Mungu mimi alikuja very late, but to you, go to him very early.
Oh, wow.
And that is our Tegasikio.
So the answer is Christ.
It is Christ.
In everything, the answer is Christ.
It is Christ.
Oh, wow. Such an amazing Tegasikio. I have learned that in everything, the answer is Christ. And we're very glad that the mzee ended up well, because when you look at Menza Kwenda, I was beginning to get worried about how the life of the mzee would be at the latter days. Yes. So that's the Tegasikio for today. Tell us your feedback katika nambari zetu 0721105105 We're live on Facebook and they're live on YouTube on MBCI TV. As we come back, we're going to take a very short break. Tukirudi, we'll be coming back with our guest. We are having the manager of Smith Bank. We'll be explaining Smith Bank ni nini. It's a microfinance bank, at least they have a, but we'll be getting to know what is a microfinance bank. But also, today we are majorly talking about savings, the importance of savings. So if you have any question regarding that, Tukirudi, feel free, ask the questions, and we'll be able to answer. So a very short break, and then we'll be coming right back.
Are you ready to unlock the secrets behind successful career choices? Join us for an eye-opening journey as we delve deep into the minds of professionals from various for your success. Meet the HR every Friday from 8:30 p.m. with Sylvia Wanja. And remember, there is no luck in career, but it's when opportunity meets preparation. For startups and magnates,
the best way of marketing is by word of mouth. So the best way to encourage word of mouth is proper execution.
Taking risks, that one is inevitable. That is the first initial thing that you need to have.
Join us as we explore the exciting world of entrepreneurship, innovation, and business strategy.
You must do it with many people. You can't do it yourself. So you need to assemble a team that will deliver your vision and take the company to the next level.
Business Plus is your go-to source for expert advice, insider tips, and inspiring success stories.
The only way you can actually be able to solve problems faster is if you encounter many problems, so it becomes easier.
With me, Rachel Kahugu, every Monday at 7:30 p.m. Remember, business is more than meets the eye.
Usimis kwenda mbinguni. Mabiti na makeki. This is serious.
Doctrines continue to differ.
So let everybody examine their doctrine.
Debates are on the rise.
Sodom, this was the same thing that is happening today.
And the information is plenty.
People go to the wrong sources expecting to get the right answers.
Amidst all these, what is the truth?
This judgment is not based on sin.
The Bible is clear, and there is an answer for every query. Ask the Ministers of God show every Saturday, 8:30 p.m.
A memorable
happy birthday.
Happy, happy, happy turning. Hey! Get ready for non-stop adventures and lots of fun. Each episode is packed with engaging stories, vibrant animations, catchy songs, educational session, and unforgettable moments.
She sells seashells at the seashore. Hey!
We inspire and empower young minds as we develop important life skills while having a blast. Join us every Saturday on your favorite channel from 9:30 a.m. as we have an amazing time. Don't miss out! Experience a journey of spiritual elevation and immerse yourself in the most uplifting worship moments. Catch the best of worship culmination every Saturday from 3 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. It's an awe-inspiring event featuring anointed worshippers and going beyond the studio to connect with young souls eager to embrace the divine presence in educational institutions. Get ready to elevate your spirit and embrace the true essence of worship with Maria Omondi and her incredible team of worshippers.
Hi there, my name is Perpetual Nyambura and I love cooking. We all love art and we all love good food.
Yeah, ukiwa na passion ya upishi.
Yes.
Inasaidia sana. Kwa sababu kuna watu hupika just for the sake.
Mulo Wetu introduces you to creativity in meal preparation. Don't miss a fresh episode of Mulo Wetu.
Kila Alhamisi 7:30 to 8 p.m.
Marudio yake iko hapa, that is Friday from 2:30 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. only on MBCI TV.
The Virtuous Woman Show brings to you authentic stories from all women of all walks of life.
You start going to the bar to watch football.
Yes.
And you started just as going to watch football.
No, I was intentional.
Why do you want to kill these babies? And I'm looking at him and I'm asking, what babies?
Through their experiences, we are able to enlighten and encourage each other.
He strangled me, pushed me to the ground, and the first thing he asked for was my M-Pesa PIN.
He proposed, and that's when I said,
people will come to understanding and knowledge that this one, she's not just a religious woman. She's a called woman.
Catch the Virtuous Woman Show every Sunday from 6 p.m. with Sheila Juma.
In a world filled with secrets, betrayals, and unexpected twists, two sisters are about to collide in ways they never imagined, lighting a fire that will shake their lives to the core. And now, there's the old cycle of pain and betrayal. Yet, a new challenge is at hand. Join Hadassah on a journey of redeeming her destiny every Sunday at 7:30 p.m.
Marriage is not a mark of completeness, nor is singlehood a mark of incompleteness. Most people look forward to married life, but when is the right time to start a relationship?
The two shall become one, isn't it? A man should not do this, a woman should not do this, I would say, unless it is a function. These others can be negotiated.
Marriages are meant for us to enjoy and not endure one another.
For better, for worse. That is what we call an affirmative covenant. Are we showing fidelity?
Don't miss the Marriage Classroom to learn more about relationships and marriage.
Relations in a relationship that is not yet in, joined together, you are not in marriage, is a no. It will never be right now, it will never be right tomorrow. It will never be okay, even in the future.
Every Sunday, only on MBCI TV.
All right, we're back after that very short break, and we're here so that we can get to go through some of the feedbacks ambazo zimekuja kutokana na Tega Sikio, which has been really amazing. I hope that you've learned something. And now we're going to be going through some of the feedbacks, just a few of them, so that we can get enough time to delve into our conversation today, because I know this is a conversation that we all need. Okay? This issue about savings. I know that we all have so many questions about it, and we've all tried saving at some point. Kuna wenye wameweza, kuna wenye they're still in the journey, kuna wenye bado wanajaribu, kuna wenye bado wanajiuliza ni must. Yeah? So we're going to be getting into that discussion just to know what is the essence of saving and what is the process. Is there a process of saving? But before we get there, wacha tuangalie some of the feedbacks ambazo zimekuja. Nitaanza na Doreen kutoka Isiolo. Aki Doreen, I see what you're doing there. Nimeona Chijo ananiambia asante sana. Anasema praise God. Nimejifunza kumtegemea Mungu hata wakati unaona kama hakuna njia. Kama uko ndani yake, he will surely make a way. Alafu all right, asante sana Doreen. God bless you. Leo tuko na Chiminingwa, amekusalimia sana.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you so
na
much.
amesema unakaa vizuri.
Asante.
Yes. Doreen, thanks.
Kuna mmoja hapa anasema mostly wanasema nafanya vizuri. Wow, this is great brother. Keep it up. Thank you so much. Anaitwa Chekwemeka Ezemo Victoria. Huyu anatoka sehemu gani ya taifa? Alafu kuna Glorious, wengi wanasema amen. Kuna Glorious Margaret, kuna Judith Matete, Lucy Zuri, na wengine wanasema where is committee, I'm standing in for him. Yeah. Today ni Silas Chiminingwa nitakuwa nasimama kwa niaba yake. Unajua wakati mwingine mtu misuli lazima ipumzike kidogo. And we must be able to help each other whenever need arises.
Yeah, but salamu nyingi sana kutoka kwake.
Kweli kabisa.
Salamu nyingi sana. Na of course yuko katika shughuli za kikazi hapa na pale. I'm sure you would be probably seeing him somewhere. So katika shughuli za kikazi, but salamu nyingi sana. I know that he's following. Ama namna gani?
Exactly.
Anasema good morning. I'm very encouraged. And so my life is too short to wake up in the morning with regret. So love the people who love you, love the people who treat you right, and forget about those who don't. Love everyone. Sawa, Florence, love everyone. It is the Bible that says that. And I say, believe that everything happens for a reason. If you get a chance, take it. If it changes your life, then let it. Nobody says that it's going to be easy, just that it would be worth it. In everything, Christ is the reason and the answer. Asante sana Florence Musika Lumbasi kutoka upande wa Kaptembwa. God bless you, nimepata ujumbe wako.
Thank you so much. Nadhani wengi wanasema tu wanasikiliza na wanatazama, na tunashukuru sana.
Okay.
Kwa sababu ya kutazama runinga ya BCI na kuweza kusikiliza Tega Sikio siku ya leo. Kuna mmoja tu hapa ndiye ameniandikia, anasema I think your story is a story of my father as well, because my father is now battling high blood pressure because ya matatizo ya shamba na ndugu zake ambao wanataka kumnyang'anya. Huyo anaitwa John wa Kamau kutoka sehemu za Elbagon.
We pray that peace will prevail.
Yes.
Yeah, we pray that peace will prevail.
Kuna mmoja ameniandikia moja kwa moja, ameniandikia binafsi moja kwa moja. Sijui kama nitaruhusiwa kusoma. Anasema anasema tafadhali Chiminingwa, ulichokisema nitaenda kuambia familia yangu, kwa sababu sikujua ya kwamba Mungu anaweza kurejesha kitu ambacho watu wanataka kukunyang'anya pasipo na uhalali. Nimefurahi sana. Mimi nimeona penye umetoka na penye umefika ni mkono wa Mungu. Keep it up. Na salimia Rachel Kahugu. Mwambie you are looking amazing together. Thank you so much.
God bless you.
Anaitwa Anthony wa Malwa akiwa sehemu za Nairobi.
All right, asante sana, nimepata ujumbe wako. Now, I'll just be reading one so that we can get into the topic of discussion. As you've said, today we are having a very interesting discussion here. And this is a discussion that will touch each and every one of us. All right? So, Nisomoyo, anasema, very good morning to you. Good morning too. Anasema, very glad to be here. I have learned from today's Tega Sikio that Christ is the answer for everything. In anything that you do, rely on Him. Okay. Asante sana. Anaitwa Victor kutoka Eldoret. Nimeona ujumbe wako. In everything that you do, rely on Jesus. He is able. Na nimesikia what your friend Anthony has said, that it is true that God can return anything yenye watu wanataka kuichukua kitu ambayo si halali, in a way that is not legal. God is able to bring back anything. He puts everything into its own place, all right? So trusting God in Christ, everything is very
He's the answer.
Yeah.
Make everything work for your favor.
Exactly. Now, we'll be getting into the topic of discussion today. And as I said before, today we are talking about savings.
Yes.
And savings is a topic that is very, very important.
Very, very
important topic, because every time we talk about saving, you talk about your future. Anytime you talk about saving, you talk about how you're able to handle your finances. All right, so tukijua pia what is the difference between savings and investment. I think that is the question ambayo tumeipata sana hapa. And when you guys asked that we should talk about these, we knew that Zach would be the best person to handle this topic. And now today we are having Zach, who is the manager of SMEP Bank. It's a microfinance bank. Atakuwa pia na to explain what exactly is a microfinance bank. Karibu sana.
Thank you so much, Rachel.
We're very glad to have you here.
Having me here. Yeah, I'm grateful today to be your host. Yep.
All right.
Yes.
Karibu sana. We are very excited to have you here.
Thank you.
And we are really waiting to see how this topic goes.
Yes.
Because most of the people tukiongelea about savings, they truly see there's a problem there. And they don't really know how to go about savings. Hata wako hapo.
We are so affected. We are many. Tuko wengi.
Sasa.
Usiongee ni kama uko nje.
Well, mimi ni wa SMEP, so kuna vile labda mambo iko sawa. So please, Zach, introduce yourself for the people who are seeing you for the very first time.
Okay.
And then we get into the discussion.
Thank you. So my name is Zachary Kome. I work for SMEP Microfinance Bank, where we are in Nakuru, and 40 branches across the country.
Okay.
And I've been there maybe for close a decade. And I thank God for that. So SMEP Microfinance is a bank that is owned by NCCK. So it's a Christian bank, as MBCI is a Christian bank. And our mission is to empower families in Kenya underserved through provision of financial services as we preach or as we proclaim the gospel of Jesus Christ. So our products are intertwined. So as we give money, as we call people to save, so we are proclaiming the gospel of Jesus Christ. That is our own. So we've said we are owned by NCCK, that is National Council of Churches of Kenya, and OPE International. OPE, it's a Christian network that is based in US. And they have roots in Africa, Kenya, it is Rwanda, we have Zambia, we have Burundi, so they are there. So they work with microfinance as well as group savings. So we are today here coming to talk about savings, which is a very weighty matter. And, many people in Africa love savings, and they don't know what savings does.
Indeed.
In the future.
It is very sensitive, Zach, and you know, whenever you talk about savings, someone would really struggle to understand what it comes with it, because I tell you, even when I was thinking about this topic and I was talking to one of my friends, he was telling me, I think also saving is so spiritual that the devil knows you're trying to tackle a problem that would come, and that's why there is a lot of hindrance in doing it. But let us begin here. Like, what is savings? Could you tell us what is a saving? Is it an investment, or is it an idle money that is loitering around, or it is after use? Is it something that could be a priority or not?
Actually, savings, it should be a priority for us, because you are saving for future. We get our motivation from the Word of God. Even in the Word of God, God said that we should save because there is future. We should save for future, because in the book of Proverbs 10:4-5, he who gathers in the summer as a prudent son, he who sleeps in the harvest is a son who brings shame. So there is that gathering of things. And the book of still Genesis 41 verse 34, the time when there was a famine, when when David interpreted the dream
Yes.
of the king, that there's 7 dry years and 7
years of abundance.
plenty of other abundance.
Was it David or Joseph?
Yeah, Joseph. I think it's Joseph. Yeah. So when that came, so they were to gather those things for 7 years and store, so that they can use for the other. So it's spiritual, it is biblical to save. But many people struggle to save because they say, mbele iko sawa. But do you really believe that mbele iko sawa? So it is good to save something. If you earn something, it is good to save for future. It is good to have a backup of something that of course we are in a world that is, we have unforeseen uncertainties that can happen. So if, for example, you don't save right now, for example, something happens, so you should save something that is equivalent to cater for you maybe in unforeseen things that might arise in your life. So savings is good, saving is biblical, and saving still it's very good for us to save for future.
All right. Yes. And if it is very important, would you please, there is someone who is watching right now and he really wants to know what is the trick. Like everybody, if we tell someone to this particular morning, tell us, if we just take statistics and say, send us your SMS, what how many want to start saving, I tell you it will trickle in like no one's business. So, but everybody's again not doing the same thing. So if as a branch manager and you have been able to interact with the people, what is the most hardest part and that makes people to have difficulty in savings?
I think the most hardest thing is maybe they say that I don't earn much so that I can save, which is a very wrong analogy of it, because whatever you earn, you should be able to save something in it, however how big it is, however how small it is. So I face challenges by saying that I don't earn much to save, but the little thing that they don't know, that whatever that you are earning right now today, you are earning 500 shillings, at least 20 shillings, I mean at least 20% of 500 shillings should go to savings. You should not squander everything. So the challenge is that people say that I am earn from hand to mouth, So that's the challenge that makes people not to be able to save. But we integrate them in our systems, we teach them the advantages of savings, we teach them many things about savings, and some have embraced. In as much as you earn a little money per day, in as much as there is something that is coming in your pocket per day,
you have to save.
You have to save.
And maybe that brings us to the point where, what is you said 20%, in whatever you're earning, hata kama ni 10 bob per day, make sure that you save 20% of it, right? So is it always 20%? Because I remember while you were speaking, I mentioned something, and I later nikabaki nikifikiria that especially for the people who are earning monthly, they usually have these budgets where you know that 10% in tithe, and then 20% goes to the rent, then 20%. So would you give us the budget kind of how one should budget their income, whether monthly or daily?
Thank you, Rachel, for that. I think there's a model that is embraced in this. We call it 70, 30, 20. 70, 30, 20, where 70 goes to your needs, rents, and wants. Where 30 goes to maybe you have debts and some other things that you want, maybe you have that you want to sort in life. Wants maybe. And 20% should be savings. Yeah. So it's a 70, 30, 20. Ratio. Yeah.
All right. And now, where does investments come in? Because while talking about savings, I'm sure investment is in there. So probably tell us about investments, and also tell us, is it very important to invest? And if we're investing, iko wapi? Iko kwa hii 20, are we investing what we are saving, or we are investing 70% of the income?
Investment, it's broad thing that we can talk about, but investment, you also plan for your investment. Yes. you can say, let me save for me to invest.
So saving and investment is two different things.
Yeah, two different things.
Because basically there is someone who says, my saving is part of my investment.
But yes, your savings is part of it. But investment in this sense is when you invest, there is a return for investment. So in this case, when you're saving, you have savings accumulated somewhere to use maybe for future uncertainties or for future things, or maybe you want a package for retirement. But that savings there, it is not really an outright investment, because an investment is something that you do that will generate income. But savings here is something that you're doing to cover your future, to have a bright future. Yeah.
All right. Maybe you could tell us, how do someone has to do savings? Because is it that you're just supposed to walk into a bank and start saving, or there are types of savings, there are critical types of savings, and which one is the best if you could be able to tell someone who is interested in beginning to save?
Sure. We are living in a very dynamic country where we have platforms, where we've gone digital, if I may say. And savings is simplified. You can save at the comfort of your seat. You can just go online and say that I'm saving. For example, in our institution, we have online platform that you can open an account online and start savings. So when you want to reclaim back that savings, now it's when you come and visit us physically. But account, it's online, everything is online, you start saving online. But when you want to redeem now the savings, you come now in our bank, then we redeem the savings for you. So it is simplified these days that you can save online and things can be better.
So basically it is just opening a savings account.
It's a savings account.
Because I am looking at it from an aspect of interest generation. Because I was looking at some of the, like there is checkers deposit savings account. There are quite a number of other savings accounts that I came across, and I would be able to understand that there are those that earn low interest rates, there are those that earn more interest rates, there are those that are fixed, you have to fix, and that's what I wanted at least a viewer to understand, to know which one should I go for.
So there's a difference between fixed account and savings account. Where fixed account, it's account that you open and you fix amount. You come with a lump sum amount and fix for a certain period of
time.
Maybe 3 months, 9 months, or 12 months at a certain interest rate. Yes, that's fixed account. You put lump sum, because in a fixed account, you cannot really be adding up whatever is inside. Fixed account, it's just you come, I have 200,000, I want to use it in the next 3 months, so I want you to save for me in a fixed account. So that's fixed account. But savings account, it's something that you accumulate as time goes by. So it's an accumulation of wealth, actually.
All right.
So
let me get these. So for the fixed accounts, they have interest rates, right? But for the saving accounts, there's no interest rate.
No, there's rate of return is still in savings account. Because I am keeping your money, so I should give you something. But now it depends with the much you've saved and the period of you've invested.
All right.
Beautiful.
Now let's talk about emergency funds. Because I also understand that with emergency funds, some people, like I personally, caught in the net, that sometimes the savings we have are the emergency funds most of the time, because it's something that I know if something happens, I have some money somewhere. This is what I can do. So is it supposed to be the same thing, emergency fund and savings? How do I save for an emergency fund? Probably let's start with explaining what is an emergency fund.
Okay, an emergency fund, it's a fund that you set aside. It's a fixed. You say, in case of anything, I'm setting up 100,000. This 100,000, it's in a locked something, somehow locked somewhere.
Come a locked account.
Yes, somehow locked somewhere where it's only accessed when there's an emergency. Yes. When there's so it's an emergency fund that you set aside. That when you say, you know, your family, I know my setup of my family. So if I say I should have 300,000, for example, in a setup, in an emergency setup account, so that just that, it remains that, it stays that, unless it is withdrawn, unless there is
an emergency. And what is this emergency for an emergency fund?
An emergency fund is something like, let's say, for example, sickness, God forbid.
Oh, sickness.
Maybe you are sick, and maybe your card doesn't, maybe, or it has been exhausted. That is when you use that. That's sort of emergency fund. Yeah.
So it's not for education.
No.
To make it clear, education is emergency.
It's not an emergency. Education is not an emergency.
All right. So just a continuation of that.
Yes.
So for the emergency fund, would you use that as the savings for some people? Once you have an emergency fund account, then you don't need to have a fixed savings account or the account that you normally save.
So for better earning for your money, the emergency fund should be in a fixed account.
Okay.
You should not just keep them like that. It can stay there for 3 years without an emergency, 6 months without an emergency. But it is prudent that you can fix it. That now can be fixed because it's a fixed account. You say, I'm fixing it for 12 months, so I'll get a 10% rate of return for that.
All right.
So it is good to invest it somewhere that is getting a return. So that's an emergency fund. So it is good, but people struggle to have it. But it is good to have an emergency fund and a savings plan.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they're different.
They're different.
Okay.
They're very different, distinct things.
Okay.
Yes.
For you to save, what are some of the things you should be able to consider? Because there is some, if you tell, like right now, you tell Rachel, it is time to save, and then, or tell me, then definitely I would start thinking, okay, let me just save, and then I will plan later about this money. Should there be a motive behind? What are some of the considerations you should be able to have for you to have a thought of, let me now start saving? And then you can also castigate down on, can someone have multiple savings accounts?
Sure. The motivation of saving, it's the goals that you set for yourself. The goal that you set for yourself. Because in life, you should have goals. In life, that you should have goals that you should attain, maybe at a certain point. People think that those people in the West are very wealthy.
Yeah.
But you can be surprised they are not, because they have embraced that culture of saving. So they save to come to Africa. They save for 10 good years so that they can come to Africa. So you can plan yourself and say, I'm saving to invest somewhere.
Yeah.
So you can save for investment. So you can save for future. So you can save for many things that you want to save, and you can have as multiple savings account as you can. So you can save for investment in that you are employed and you want maybe to have a diversification of incomes. So you say, I'm giving myself a target of 1 year. So I will have saved 500,000 for 1 year, so that next year I will have my investment. So it's good to have a goal, because it is not good to run aimlessly when it comes to, if you want to save for investment. So if you want to save for other things, yes, maybe for future, for your retirement, it is good just you to be saving something in it. But you can set targets for yourself and say, I want to open maybe something in town, and it is costing 500,000. Instead of myself going for the bank to take a loan, why can't I save so that I can use my money? Because it is prudent. You should not start investment with loans.
That is something that we should talk about, because I know that most people would take a loan, start a business, and then they've done the research very well. So they assume that when I start this business, it will be able to give me returns, so that I'll be able to pay the loan and also make some money from it. So that was a very important point that you've made. That do not take a loan to start a business. But is it permissible at within some limit?
No, even in banking sector, we should know where you are taking money. And of course, we don't lend to starters.
To start a business.
Yeah, we don't lend to start a business. We lend a business that is running at least 6 years and above. 6 months, sorry, 6 months and above. 6 months and above.
Calm down.
Calm down. 6 months and above. But it is known that you can borrow a loan to start a business, but you should look at both coins, both sides of the coins.
If it might,
it might not. Even if you've done a research of high-tech research, you should have both coins, the signs of the coins. It might not. So that's why banks flee from that. You come for a loan to invest. We boost your business actually. What we do as a service, we boost your business. So it is prudent that you save, that you set aside some saving. Now you start your business with what you've earned. So from that way you can monitor the projections and trajectory of the business. So after you monitor that, now you can pump in money. Now you can come and Zach, here I want 100,000 and I'll give you. Joyfully.
Let me take you back a little bit.
All right.
Let me take you back a little bit. You've mentioned about having a target while saving, or knowing what you're saving for. Sometimes while saving, tuna savingi tuna the fact that unatakana kusave every time you have an income. Unatakana kusave every time you have an income. But sometimes you really don't have the target, I want to save for this particular thing. So let's assume I'm having a savings account, but I'm saving because I want at the end of the year to probably buy land, right? And I've saved, by the end of the year, I have saved 200,000, and I decide I want to buy land. So is it, from your position, is it advisable for me to use the whole 200 to buy land and then start afresh with saving? Is that the whole kind of saving that we should do? Ile unajua, I am saving, but at the end of the year, we start afresh.
But remember the emergency fund. So if the emergency fund is the saving, it is good to leave something, not to use everything after you've saved. But if your goal was to get that land, and the land it's costing 200,000 shillings, definitely you will use the whole 200,000, because that way you have invested your savings.
So use the 200,000, but I'm supposed to be having an emergency fund.
Yes.
So nisibaki ati bila kitu,
no,
like nothing.
Nisibaki bila kitu.
As much as you've invested, make sure that you have some emergency fund somewhere. All right. Now that is clear.
There is someone who is right now. I would tell you, because I am in that shoes. I have once been in that shoes. Of most of the finance institutions encourage people to save because you would now be able to start getting credit. And what would you say, like the biggest motivation that many people choose to save is because they know at the end of the game, Smith Bank is going to give me thrice my savings. And basically that is one of the things, even someone can decide to sell the land the way Rachel is saying and put into Smith Bank bit by bit. Anatoa kila siku 5,000 akikuja bank akideposit. Akikuwa na target ya rate yake ionekana ina perform vizuri, so that apate 600,000 from the 200,000 so that afanye vitu anataka kufanya. What would you say about that?
It should be known that the motivation of saving, and when I first let me say, when I come to onboard you as my client, so there are two things actually I should ask you. So you are saving for loan, or you want a savings plan that will help you in the future? Because those are two different things. There's somewhere that you can save, goal being getting a financing, and there's another thing that you save for future, because those are two distinct things that can run concurrently, or you can choose to have either. Because if you choose to have a savings plan for future, so you save without aiming to get a loan, so you are saving for your investment. That's a motivation somewhere beside the loan. But if you want to save so that you can get a loan, well and good. We have all those things that we have. We give you financial advice that we should give you as a financial institution, and then you choose. So if your goal is to have a loan of course you should save towards that, or you should at least open an operational account. So yeah, basically it's not really savings. When you come, you just open an operational account, and then you start now transacting. So the more you transact, the higher your chances of getting a facility. But the other thing of saving, which is a weighty issue here, it's now you save for a certain purpose. For a certain purpose. So you have a motivation of saving. Maybe, for example, you want to save for retirement, you say. You want to save to invest, as I've said earlier. So there are two distinct things that you should save. There's a way of saving so that I can get finances, and there's a way of saving for a certain thing, maybe for a vacation, because people they can save for a vacation. Can save for a vacation instead of squandering your during December. You can save for that towards that, so that in January it should not be January. So it can be you have something that you can. So those are basically two things that
because if you tell me that, and then there is the aspect that comes with that, because we are talking about loans and it revolves around savings, loans and everything, and that, you know, there is this one thing that someone would say, I have been because there is a friend of mine I was having a conversation with yesterday, and he told me, I have saved quite a lot, but still I'm not able to get credit simply because of credit credibility with maybe a certain institution that I had some hiccups with, and then they have decided to transfer the grudge to another financial institution, so the savings become of no importance to me. What would you say about that? Because I think he told me that is one of the things that has demoralized me from saving, because to date I think I cleared some of my bills, some of my loans, yes, but because of the credibility credit issues, I tell you to date, what I saved is what I have, and if I take it, it's like I was just doing a home banking. Yes.
Okay. Maybe I understand how he was saving or she was saving, but for you to qualify for a facility, maybe a loan, we don't look at what you have in your account. We look at what you can be getting in a month, in a week, in a month. So you could be having 1 million in your account right now, and you come for 500,000. I tell you, don't qualify. Simply because a loan are pre-qualified through transactional account. So I should see that transactions in your account. So maybe, for example, if I come and deposit 100,000 here in my account, and then after 3 months I come, I tell you I need a loan. So automatically you don't qualify, because we should see that projection. How are you able to raise this money? Because you've come with a lump sum, 100,000. But I don't know where this 100,000 came from. So I lend to business people. So I should see that trajectory, that income, that level. How are you generating money? What are your sales volume in a day? What are your sales volume in a month? So I think maybe it was not maybe advised well. But if he came with money and just placed it there, then after 3 months he came back, of course you cannot qualify, because you've not been transacted. You saved your money there. You didn't have an aim of getting a facility. So there's two different things.
And why is it that any financial institution, whether you are a security guaranteed, if like today Rachel even comes and tells you, I am earning my money and I'll be able to save with you before we move, I would like you to just touch a bit of it. Why is it that it is never advisable, however much that person is guaranteed is earning, and he's having a salary account from that bank, is not credible to have a facility or have a loan? Why is it that you have to go 3 to 4 months, and yet this person, you can be able to tell Rachel is someone who is earning, and he will be earning for the next 10 or 5 years to come, but still you have to tell that person, what is the motivation behind that kind of an action?
Okay, if you're a salaried person, that's where your salary passes through, maybe in a bank account. So that's what we call check-off loans. So if a salaried person comes, he gets a check-off loan, where the money to pay the loan is deducted directly from the payslip. So this, you cannot come with 1 month payslip, 2 month payslip, and tell me you employed. What if you are on probation? You see, what if you are on probation and you want money after that month, the 6th month you don't know whether you'll be confirmed. You see, so there are nitty-gritties that we should look at when it comes to financing the check-off people, because the check-off people, you should have a bank account that is. You should have a salary account that your salary is passing through us for at least 3 months. And then after that, there's a contract form that you have with the employer. So we should base either that rule and then we shall calculate and give you. For salaried people, that's different from the business people.
All right. Now, tell us a little bit about the microfinance bank. And now, because you're talking about savings, tell us how people can now come and save with you guys.
Okay, microfinance bank are, we call them from commercial bank, now then microfinance bank. So we call microfinance bank, and then from that we have SACCOs.
Okay.
So you can come and save with us because we have savings plans. We have an account called, we rolled it some years back, and it is really doing very well. We have an account for saving that is called 52 Weeks Savings Challenge. The 52 Weeks Savings Challenge, it's an account that helps you to save and build your money in a bit in a week. So you can choose a tire of 25 shillings, a tire of 50 shillings, and a tire of 100 shillings in a week. So it is helping people to save. And people are running with it so much that they are accumulating their money. Because when you take a tire, 25 shillings in a week, you get roughly that 3,000 in a year. If you take a tire of 50 shillings, you get roughly 68,000. And if you take a tire of 100 shillings, you get 130-something thousand in a year. So it is called 52 Weeks Challenge. In fact, it is a challenge.
It's a challenge.
It's a challenge. Sure. So if you take 25 shillings, for example, in a week, so you save 25 shillings first week. It's small money.
Indeed, very.
Second week, you'll save 25 plus 25, 50 shillings.
That is 50.
So the other week, you'll save
75
shillings. Yes. So it is increasing. But I think at the end of it, or the highest, which is the 52nd week, it's 1,300 shillings for the 25. So it's a challenge that you can, it can really challenge someone to save, because we have embraced it. It is in the market. People have consumed it. And tailored it for youth, because we saw youth, they are not really, they don't save. Wanapotelea huko kwa miandarati, then wako betting. So the thinkers of the bank came with the account.
I think that's a very good plan.
It was tailored for youths, but these days everyone saves. Use the account.
But
all right, please tell
maybe
us,
just one question.
Okay, in a minute, we're almost going for the break.
Okay. I just wanted to, because you've said about that, and I think I can be very honest. Like personally, I've had that for the first time. Do you think financial institutions have also failed in terms of civic education to help people understand this kind, because this is coming for the first time, for example, into my ears as a person who is able to do that savings, and then you can be able also to tell us how could you be able to verify that this is a good financial savings or institution, because people have lost money and you've seen that happening all over the place.
Before you answer, let's do this. Let's take a very short break, and then we'll be coming right back. As you come back, you'll answer that question, and also tell us where you guys are located, so that we'd be able to come and save with you guys, and also get the plan for the 52 weeks. Na pia to pick tunataka kusave na gani. Is it 25 shillings? Is it 50 shillings? Ama ni gani? Just to get to know the whole plan. All right? So we're talking about savings, and we're here with the manager of SMEP Microfinance Bank. We're talking about saving, and this is a very important topic to talk about. I hope that you've gotten something, and I hope ya kwamba unaanza kusave from today. All right? So a very short break, and then we'll be coming right back. Usiende mbali.
MBCI Television, transforming lives.
Ndama ni mtoto wa ng'ombe. Kichengo ni mtoto wa nani?
Hey, y'all, come look at this.
Ate nini?
Kichengo.
Kuna kitu inaitwa kijego? Najua mjego tu.
Penye miti?
Kuna baridi. Kuna baridi.
Nataka unikamilishie medali. Penye miti?
Panamanki. Panamanki.
IQ yako iko wapi? IQ yako iko wapi?
IQ. Mimi sina. Mimi sina.
Call Collins, call, I'm calling call. Rudia mara 3 mbio mbio.
Collins, Collins calls. Collins, Collins calls. Collins, Collins calls.
Next on.
Siniulize hapa nijui vile simu yako huwa inaitana ama vile inalia.
Hair pull cream for your natural hair growth. Nywele 500 customer, mea nywele 500 customer, mea nywele 500 customer.
Tunatafuta mheshimiwa, amekuwa summoned wala hapii kwenye koti. Sawa sawa madam.
Am I looking like mheshimiwa?
Kwa hivyo hata vitu zenye tunatumia kwa hii nyumba hujui kwenye zinatokana.
Oh, okay. Kwani ni unapeako na huyo mashuga mami? Kwani hao ndio umeweka? Bali wacha nifanye hivi, wacha niende, wacha nikuache.
Kuna ya mafuta hapo, kuna ya boga.
Hii.
Enda ununue.
Chukua wewe ukanunue nayo hiyo mafuta unasema.
Kama hutaki kutumia hizo pesa, wacha na enda upike kenye utapika. Na tukule, tunataka kula. Tuko njaa.
We, ni nini? Utaniua.
Unanipea ama unipei?
Amekataa.
Ili aibu kuja uone.
Ngoja, hawa wawili.
Tuwaambie watusaidie.
Ngoja, wamekataa.
Kwanza na atiki.
Jana mzigo. Jana mzigo.
Chape tena.
You have to getting along with other workers, but this one.
Kuna mtu amekuja kuua, please mvute kazi. Please nakusihi tu.
It's Josh. Utazida.
Kama unajipenda, hebu vuta hiyo takataka yote kwa sisi.
Is it true?
Nimesema kama unajipenda.
Waridi jangwani.
MBCI Television, transforming lives.
All right, we are back after that very short break. Tumetoka madukani, and we're here. We're still talking about savings with Zachary, and it's very important for all of us to save. I know by now, sote tumuona what is the importance of saving, and it's the time where we ask all our this very important question: are we saving? And there's something enye Zako mesema before turudi on air, that most of the people, especially those who are salaried, wao wana save kwa sababu lazima usave. Inakatwa automatically. Ilipo hivi savings inakatwa. But are you saving because you want to save? By now, do you know what is your target? Do you know what is the importance of saving? And also, apart from saving your saving inakatwa kwa mshahara every month, do you have the emergency funds? Because the emergency fund is also very, very important. Before we took that break, there's the question ulikuwa muuliza na Silas.
Yes. So thank you, Silas, for the question. I think you asked 2 questions, eh?
Yes.
In regards to the information.
Yes.
For example, how we dispense the information. So Fortunately, we use social medias. Social media handles for our bank to advocate for the or rather to reach people in the country, as well as we use other mechanisms like now forums. We go to churches to preach the gospel of saving. We go to groups. We go to events that we are in, but still, I know the information has not synced to many of us in the country about the savings. But we are planning that, and we will roll over everything, and then we start maybe going to streams like here. MBCI can be partners for that, and then the gospel can reach to as many as possible. Again, you've asked about how people lose money.
The financial institutions and how to identify the credible one. This one is the best financial institution. This one is not, because people are losing money sometimes. Fraudulent financial institutions to evolve.
So before you engage a certain financial institution, you should have made your research. At least, how has this institution fared for the last maybe 3 years for you to be safe? So you can look at financial reports for the institution. It is there in the websites. It's a requirement for the law, so that you should post your financial statements for the last financial years. You can compare the financials, because the stable the bank, of course, the better the future. So you can do your homework, you can research, because the information is there. It is provided so that you can see if you invest money in this bank, will it squander your money? Will you get your money? So because the information is there, it is all over. Yes.
Okay. Now, for the people who are not interested in saving and they'd want to visit you guys to be able to see the range of saving options that you have and how they can save, or just come and inquire for some of the things. Where are you guys located?
So like I said, we have 38 branches across the country. So wherever you are, you can visit us in those 38 branches, from Mount Kenya to Rift Valley to Coast to Western, and to where we are. This is now Rift Valley, Southern Central. So we are all over in the country. So particularly in Nakuru, we are at Ereto Plaza. Just where Safaricom House is, by the top there. And if you want to visit us, we are there, and you're much welcome. So that you can walk the journey. Websites, are you on social media platforms? We are on social media. www.smep.co.ke, that's our website. So www.smep.co.ke.
Could someone be able to reach you through call, because there is an old man maybe who is not able to reach you through those websites?
You can. So I can
give the number.
Please proceed.
Flat out my number. So if you want to reach us in Nakuru, my number is 07 27 619 252.
All right.
To repeat it again, and it's 07 27 619 252.
All right.
That's my number, personal number.
Just take it again. It's the people who haven't gotten it.
07 27 619 252.
252. All right. Thank you so much for coming, Zachary.
Thank you.
We are very glad to have had this topic with you.
Thank you.
You are truly the best person for this. You are truly the best person for this particular topic. Na nimejua that sasa you know what is the importance of saving and that you're ready to save. All right? So thank you so much once again for joining us.
So thank you, Rachel.
Salimia sana watu wa SMEP.
I will greet them. And again, even gone, Mungu anapenda pia to save. So it is not that we save just like that. Because in the book of Proverbs 13:16 says, every prudent man plans for future. So you should plan for future as a prudent man. So future starts now. You might not have started. You see like, no, I've old enough not to save, you can start as young as you are, as old as you are.
All right.
Yes. About the challenge, I think I'm planning, so I don't know, must you be, Rachel is a member, but are you supposed to be a member so that you can start the challenge, or you can...
You can put it online or you can visit us.
Ah, beautiful. Beautiful. I think I'm ready for that.
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much once again for coming.
You're welcome.
Thank you for tuning in. I know that you've gotten something. We do value your time. God bless you. God be with you. Now we're taking a very short break to pate tu mziki kidogo, and then we'll be coming back to tell you what we are doing tomorrow. Of course, mnajua Thursdays inakuanga ile siku.
Exactly.
So we're taking a short break. We get some like 2 songs. Alafu tutakuwa tukirudi. Once again, asante sana.
Thank you.
Salimia kila mtu smooth.
I will.
Sana.
No, thank you for hosting us.
Okay.
We are grateful.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
2 songs, and then we'll be coming right back.